This journey starts in Marrakesh, one of the three ancient capitals of Morocco. The famous Al Koutoubia Mosque is located here, and you will see a unique blend of Arabian and African architecture. There are endless combinations of food dishes and of course the famous Moroccan mint tea. Marrakesh is a key city for exploration. We then take the road west towards the high Atlas Mountains and we head towards a city called Ouartata, also known as the gateway to the Sahara. Here we scout some incredibly unique photography locations. I then head back to Marrakesh and head south towards a small village called Imlil in the high Atlas Mountains. Imlil is the closest village to Jebel Toubkal, the highest peak in North Africa. The summit of Mount Toubkal is 4,167 meters tall, and together with my guide Ahmed, I attempt to make it to the summit. I then take the road west towards the bohemian and relaxed ocean city of Essaouira, also known as the Wind City, where I meet a local artist called Yunus who tells me about the Amazi and the Berber symbols and their meaning. And my final stop is in a surf village called Tagazout. So join me in this video as we explore Morocco. From the ancient cities located in the Atlas Mountains, we cross the hot roads, meet the local people and try to understand the unique and the mystical culture of this land. This is Marrakesh International Airport. Morocco, even in 2024, at the time of making this video, is a cash-based society, and you will need cash to get from the airport to the city centre. However, the old days of haggling with the airport taxis are gone. There is now a rule that you have to scan the QR code and pay a predetermined price, or you can just get the local bus which pulls right into the airport parkway for just 30 dirhams. Morocco is an amazing place, and it is on the border, of course, between Africa and Europe. Traditionally, the culture here is so rich, as Marrakesh is on the historic trade path in the Trans-Saharan tradeway. I have been coming here for the last 5 years as a photographer, enjoying the culture and as well the amazing scenery that the country of Morocco has to offer. It is absolutely beautiful here, and there is many reasons why you should come to Marrakesh and to some of the surrounding gems. But there's also some things that you should watch out for and things to be aware, because when I first came here in 2017, I actually didn't have the best experience because there were some things that I just wasn't aware of in terms of how things are done around here. So in this video, I want to give you some of my tips, some of my insights about Marrakesh specifically, as well as some of the surrounding gems that are close by in this region, because there's so much to see, there's so much that this country can offer, but sometimes tourists just don't have the knowledge about what are the best places to go to and what are the things that you should or shouldn't do. Now, let's quickly address some of the negatives of Marrakesh specifically, before moving on to the many positives. Now, this is a place that you will definitely end up visiting quite a lot. Just coming down from the Koutoubia, directly in front of me is Jemaa el-Fna. It is a big square, a big market square, where you will really feel the energy and the vibe of Marrakesh, which is so unique. It is really busy. Right now, actually, it's not as busy as in the evenings because it's quite hot and not that many people are out. Well, relatively speaking, because it's still quite busy. But this is actually the place that gives Marrakesh a bad reputation. A lot of tourists that I spoke to, and me myself when I was traveling around these places for the first time, this actually is the place that kind of makes people feel a bit like uncomfortable, gives you like sort of a negative impression. The reason why is because this is like the boss square of all of the very aggressive salespeople that will do whatever they can to get a bit of money off you. So, things to be aware of. First of all, there are guys with pets, like monkeys and snakes. These guys will come, they'll be really friendly, they'll try to put the snake or the monkey on you, physically on you, to take a picture. If you let them do that, boom, that's it. You have to pay. You have to pay money, and they will follow you around. They will not really let you go until you give them some cash. These are the animal guys, right? Then you also have the henna girls. The henna girls will usually approach females, and they will just quite forcefully like take them and offer to make some henna. Again, unless you want the henna, you have to be very firm and just say no, no thank you, keep walking, keep walking. And then if you're like me and you're coming here with the camera, as soon as they're gonna see you with the camera, they will also ask for cash. Now, as I said, I'm actually a photographer and a videographer. I actually love to take photos and videos of this kind of vibe. And what has worked for me in the past, because in the evening with the live music, it's so amazing. Basically, I approach them first and I say, hey, I want to take some photos, I want to take some videos. I'm going to sit here for whatever, 20, 30 minutes, enjoy your music, enjoy the show, and I'll pay you some money afterwards. So I actually negotiate the price directly beforehand, and then that way we avoid any bad emotions.
The gorgeous Koutoubia Mosque is located in the southwest Medina quarter of Marrakesh, near Jemaa el-Fna. A lesser known fact is that Sir Winston Churchill came to Marrakesh in 1943 following the Casablanca Conference, where he met with Franklin Roosevelt to discuss the war strategy against the Axis powers. After the conference, Churchill stayed in Marrakesh and produced his only artistic piece of work during the war period. This painting is known as the Tower of the Koutoubia Mosque. One of my other favorite places in Marrakesh is the House of Photography. This museum features old antique photographs of Marrakesh, some of which are over 100 years old. And once you're here, be sure to check out the upstairs terrace for a magnificent panoramic view of the city. This is definitely one of my most favorite places in Marrakesh. When you get up here on a clear day, today there's a bit of haze, but on a clear day you can see mountains over there. It looks absolutely amazing, especially come here in the morning for breakfast. They do open relatively early at 9 a.m. And then out there, that's the Medina and the main city. But this view here, I wish I could show you with the mountains in the background. It's amazing. Not the best sunset view. The best sunset view I'll show you in a minute. And whilst we're here, let me show you the proper way of making real Moroccan tea. Now, in most local traditional cafes, you will not be given a spoon to stir your tea with. But the Moroccan mint tea is supposed to be drank with plenty of sugar. So what you do is you actually put the sugar cubes inside the teapot, and you stir the tea by pouring the tea into the cup, back into the pot, and repeat the process 3 or 4 times. This way the sugar mixes with the tea and becomes sweet, and the tea itself brews faster, making it more delicious and stronger.
So that was the House of Photography. Whether you're into photography or not, I would highly recommend you visit that place. It's just a very nicely laid out museum. You can see the heritage and the history of Marrakesh and photos that are 100 years old. You can see how the city has developed. And there's an amazing, like I said, amazing rooftop upstairs. Really nice food and tea as well. So check it out if you're stopping in Marrakesh for a couple of days. Just wanted to quickly show you something. This is a restaurant, and the layout of this restaurant is amazing. So on the ground floor, obviously now, today, there are tables and people that will come here and dine. But this entire first floor, you can see this is shaped as a classic riad with 2 floors and a sort of a square. But this ground floor used to be actually where the horse and carriages would come in, and this first floor was a stable. So these big doors were for the animals, and upstairs, that's where humans would sleep. So just FYI, pretty cool.
Speaking of riads, what actually is a riad? A riad is a traditional local house commonly found in North Africa and in Andalusia.
The house has an open-air courtyard, which typically features some garden or a pond. The word Riyadh itself comes from the Arabic term gardens, and its design helps to keep the air filled with cool shade in the hot months of summer and provides some comfort and relaxation.
Now we're getting up to another awesome place, another gem in my opinion, Madrasa bin Yusuf. This building here on my left, we're just walking to the big entrance. This is a school. It's a medieval school. It was built, I think, in the 14th or 15th century. I'm not too sure about the exact date. But it was a school for students, Islamic students, who used to come and study here. And then since it's been refurbished in the most amazing, beautiful way. Inside there, the architecture, the design of the walls, the mosaics that you're going to see, it's mind-blowing. Definitely come here to the madrasa and have a look. Also for photography, really, really awesome. This is the entrance. And these are the kind of photos that you can get inside the Madrasa bin Yusuf. One of the things you should definitely watch out for is traffic. There's mopeds, there's people on bicycles, there's people walking, sometimes there's people with carts and donkeys. It's all part of the fun, it's all part of the experience. But just keep your eyes open and try to walk on the right. That way you're just a little bit safer.
Walking through the old souks, it feels like you're walking through history itself. Where local craftsmen still work on their handcrafted goods, just like their ancestors did for generations.
I forget to mention, the other scam that you should be aware of is people telling you that they're going to show you the tanneries in Marrakesh. Marrakesh does have tanneries. They're not super nice to see, or at least I don't think you'll enjoy them. Tanneries are notorious for their foul smell, but that's not even the issue. The issue is that they will take you to the tanneries, which are very small, very shabby, and they'll ask you for like 200 dirhams, which is not cool. It's not worth that much.
I once heard Marrakesh being described as a city that is to be experienced, but not for its aesthetic beauty. I disagree. Look at all of these lights and all of these unique shapes. Around every corner you feel like there's some magic, or that the genie from Aladdin is about to come out. There is a reason why Morocco is often referred to as the Kingdom of Light.
So it's just getting up to golden hour. Sun sets in about an hour's time, and I'm just off Jamal F now. On my left is a place called Hotel, Restaurant, Café de France. And this place is probably the best place to see the sunsets in Marrakesh. I have tried a couple of these other cafes out here as well. This one doesn't look like anything special. But when you go to the very top floor on the terrace, it's facing the Kutubia right there, and the sun sets directly to the right of the Kutubia. And you get an amazing view. So let's go get ourselves a tea or a coffee and check out the sunset.
From the early afternoon and deep into the night, the raw energy of Jamal Efna has a hypnotic pull towards it. The only relative moment of peace and serendipity comes from just after sunset, when the musicians pause their music for the evening call to prayer. Let me quickly touch upon the taxi situation here in Morocco. There are two types of taxis. The petit taxi, which translates as the small taxi. These guys should in theory charge you very little to get around the city. They are also allowed to pick up other passengers along the route. Then there is also the grand taxi. These guys will charge you a lot more, but they are also licensed to go outside of the main Medina. But with whatever option you choose, just to be safe, make sure you always negotiate your price in advance. Also in Marrakesh, if you want to go to a different city, check out the bus station of Bab Toukala. Bab Toukala, which translates as the gate of Toukala, is where the big city bus station is. And from here you can go to many other cities on a real budget. And now we're heading east into the Atlas Mountains and towards a city called Ouarzazate. After some heavy rains, we were surprised to see how green the Atlas Mountains could actually be. Sometimes I was thinking that I was in parts of Italy or Spain, but the distinct red rock contrasting with the lavish green grass is a very unique landscape that I've only seen in Morocco. Aïd Ben Hattou translates as the people of Hattou. This place is a historic fortified village which was built along the former caravan route between the Sahara and Marrakesh, with this purpose to, of course, protect the ancient caravans that were traveling through Morocco. This site has been a settlement since the 11th century. In more recent times, this place has become very popular with Hollywood, and a number of films have been made here. Some include Game of Thrones, Gladiator, Lawrence of Arabia, Babel, The Jewel of the Nile, among many others. We, of course, didn't miss the chance to take some incredible photos here as well. But behind the glamour of tourism and the pretty pictures on Instagram, here I meet Hassan, a local guide. Hassan is originally from the Sahara and he's proud of his roots. He tells me a little about the Amazigh Berber people, their values and their culture.
The Berber, it's mean like free, because a long time it's mean like the living in one tent, we move a lot. Life here, it's very difficult, but like in nomad people, but the nomad people were just with something small, we see just very happy. You give you anything as you want it. If you come into your house, you can give you almost your food just to see you happy, and almost that. Don't think about the future, just to live just the days, to be happy, and that is everything for him. In desert they speak in Amazigh, and there is in Agadir they speak in Sus, and there is in Tanger Chefchaouen there is speaking Rif. Rif it's like similar than Berber mixing with Spanish, because Rif not far than Spanish, that's why. Long time there is in government just Arabic people, but now there is almost the government also it's a Berber. That's why almost it's obligation, because a long time don't study the Berber.
After experiencing and seeing how people live in the remote Atlas Mountains, I head back to Marrakesh and south to a small village of Imlil. According to the ancient Greek poet Hesiod, Atlas, a titan, stood at the end of the earth in the extreme west. Later, he became commonly identified with the Atlas Mountains in northwest Africa. This is Mount Tubkal, the king of the Atlas Mountains. Something that you should be aware of is that if you want to hike up Mount Tubkal, or even if you wanted to go and trek to the refuge camp, you need to have a certified guide with you, and this is a strict requirement as there are checkpoints that enforce this rule.
This is from the road to the Atlas Mountains, specifically to the king of the Atlas, which is Mount Tubkal. It's just over 4,000 meters tall. The journey that I've taken is basically walking up there, sleeping in a refuge tonight for one night, waking up at 4:30 in the morning, climbing up to the summit for sunrise. Should be some beautiful views, some beautiful scenery, and then climbing back down. So it's only a short 2-day hike. Like I said, 4,100 meters, just about. Should be good. It's warm. Apparently at night it's going to be close to like 4 degrees Celsius. But yeah, let's see how this journey pans out.
For me, the mountains have always been special. Their might towers over you, and you are reminded how small and powerless you really are compared to Mother Nature. This trek is surprisingly popular with tourists, and even if you are traveling solo, it is unlikely that you will be alone here. The road is rocky and dusty, hot and slippery at times. In terms of difficulty, in good weather conditions you don't need any special equipment or any specific skill. You just need to be moderately fit and have good mental strength. The fresh mountain air, the delicious food along the way, and being at one with nature, surrounded by tall mountains, really make you forget about all of the petty problems of city life that you have back home.
So this is one of the shops, one of the final shops that is on the way to the refuge for the night. It's about another hour-and-a-half walk from here. So yeah, starting to feel a little bit tired, but it's not too bad. And it's not too cold as well. So good. Hello. Yeah. So we are arriving in the refuge. Almost made it. Maybe it's about 500 meters away, probably less, 200 meters. Yeah, it wasn't as it was challenging, but it wasn't as bad as I thought, and still quite warm. Just wearing a t-shirt and shorts. Let's see what the weather will be like in the evening.
The refuge was pretty much akin to a pretty good hostel than a shelter. It had everything you needed. There's hot water, there is even Wi-Fi, there's a kitchen, they serve tea and hot food in the evenings. So you have everything that you need for a comfortable overnight stay. Tubkal is believed to have various interpretations, possibly referring to the concepts of walnut or to boil in reference to the melting snow on the mountain.
So my name is Ahmed. Ahmed Bogdad. I'm a guide. I'm working in High Atlas mountain.
Yeah, good.
So we are now in a refuge de Tubkal.
Yeah.
The height of the refuge is 3,207 meters. Tomorrow I will go to the summit de Tubkal. We start early. We take a breakfast at 4:30. We leave because we like picture sunrise from Tubkal. Because in the morning from Tubkal we have a good view. We have good then to see Marrakesh from Tubkal in the morning. Also the sunrise. Then you tomorrow to take with you warm jackets, gloves, headlights, because in Tubkal it's very cold in the morning. Tomorrow we have 3 hours from here to the summit, 2 hours back to here. Then go back from Tubkal to the refuge here to take relax, then to drink a cup of tea. Then after we will go down to the shrine and we have lunch from in the halfway.
As the sun dips below the horizon, a gentle hush blankets the world. People climb mountains for various reasons, each ascent representing a unique blend of personal challenges, adventure, and a profound connection to nature. For some, scaling peaks is a pursuit of physical and mental triumph, pushing personal boundaries to achieve goals that seem insurmountable. Others seek spiritual solace found in the solitude of the majestic mountain landscapes.
Hi, I'm Tyler. I'm from the United States, and first time in Morocco, and first time going above 13,000 feet, and it's pretty doubtful I was gonna make it. So I started the hike, and we walked for 5 minutes in the dark, and I threw up all over the ground, and then the whole way I was just one step at a time.
Oh, just not giving up, because I mean it wasn't really a body challenge, more a mind challenge to keep going, not just be like, okay, I'm stopping right here. But it was definitely worth it.
Yourself and you?
Probably lack of sleep. Definitely could have fallen asleep anywhere on the mountain.
I thought sleeping was quite good though. It was like a comfortable refuge, to be fair. Like, oh, everything.
Yeah,
had a Wi-Fi.
It was good. It was good. These guys slept on the roof.
Oh.
Under the stars.
Which were under the stars.
Beautiful.
Which probably isn't advised, I'd say,
Really?
before hiking. And I was sick the day before, so yeah, I haven't really been. Stomach's not too good, but we made it up, so that's all that matters.
Massive congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
Is it worth it?
Definitely. Yeah, so cool.
Mountaineering fosters a sense of camaraderie among climbers, creating enduring bonds forged in the face of adversity. Additionally, the allure of breathtaking views from the summits serves as a powerful incentive, offering a perspective that transcends ordinary experiences and fosters a deep appreciation and the grandeur of the natural world. After spending so much time in the mountains and on the fringes of the Sahara Desert, we now head west towards the coastal town of Essaouira. Essaouira was formerly known as Mogador and lies on the Atlantic, 110 miles west of Marrakesh, across a broad and stony plain. It is one of the series of fortified coastal towns along the coast. And after the red walls of the baking heat of Marrakesh, its blue and white Medina and the stiff sea breezes are refreshing. Even in midsummer, temperatures here do not really nudge up 24 or 25 degrees Celsius. Its tranquil and bohemian qualities once attracted a steady flow of hippies in the 60s and the 70s. There is an urban myth that Jimi Hendrix once came here and tried to buy a restaurant. And apparently one of his songs, Castles Made of Sand, was inspired by Essaouira. Whether this is true or not, the atmosphere of Essaouira is definitely very chilled and relaxed. A local man once told me that this is because of the very, very high concentration of iodine in the air. You see, Essaouira is surrounded by hills on every side, and because of the Atlantic being right on the edge of the city, there is a steady breeze and sometimes a very strong wind, which attracts windsurfers. But also, due to the humidity, you can really feel this high concentration of salt and ocean that you can smell right in the air. The biggest difference for me is coming in from the desert, you can really feel this change in atmosphere and change in the air quality in Essaouira. It feels like this city is also a hub for artists and people who are working on their craft. There are so many different little quaint art shops around this area and musicians who are fusing Moroccan traditional music with Amazi and Berber blues. In one of these small quaint alleyways, I find an artist by the name of Younes, who tells me about his art that he works on. These are Berber symbols made on goat skin leather. And my name is Younes, and this is my painting. It's an original piece, and this art is about Berber symbols. This first symbol represents the fusion between the indigenous Berber people and the Arab people. There are two kinds of cultures that go together. This next symbol shows a key. This is your own key of happiness. No one is going to make you happy in your place. It's your choice. It doesn't depend on someone else. It's about you and your own positivity on the inside of you. This next symbol is a star. The stars in the desert helped tribes recognize places that had food or water in ancient times. And this next symbol is a flock of flamingos. In our Berber culture, it's a symbol of family. When you're with family, we feel positive energy that we can't experience with other members of society. Only with our family we have the good and positive vibes. This next symbol shows the spiral of life. Sometimes life is good and sometimes life is bad, and it comes and goes, and we don't know how it's going to be like tomorrow. And here we have a cat. In our Berber culture, it's a symbol of unconditional love. Just give and don't wait to receive. You can love a human or an animal. Here we have an eye. If you recognize, on a lot of doors we have a hand symbol. This is the hand of Fatima for knocking. So if you have the bad energy or negative things, go away with that energy and don't come to us. But if you have positive energy and you're a good person, then you're welcome. Then here there's a sun together with the key. This symbol is a hope for a good future. We don't know what will happen tomorrow, but we hope that it will be something good for us and for everyone around us. And here we have a free man and a free woman, and this one is a dancer. In our Berber culture, it's more about dancing and happiness and living in the moment. Don't think too much about tomorrow, but enjoy life right now. And the final symbol is a piece of jewelry that the woman used to wear when her man was out hunting. She would put on this jewelry to show that the man is not home, but she is the head of the house right now. So if we knock and the woman opens the door wearing this jewelry, we know that the man isn't home, but we can ask her for something. So this is the meaning of our Berber symbols. We decided to stay in Essaouira for a whole 2 weeks. Exploring the city, sightseeing, it is honestly a very chill and a very picturesque place. it somehow feels also very European. So perhaps if Marrakesh is too intense for you and makes you nervous, check out this place instead. Many people also don't realize the fact that Essaouira has an international airport with budget flights from the UK, France, and Germany, and a few other places. So have a look to see if there are direct flights that could be convenient for you.
And speaking of small, quaint, fisherman, bohemian villages, Tagazout is a place that you should definitely consider visiting if you want to get away from the busy hustle and bustle of life. The closest big city is down the coast called Agadir. It's about 20 kilometers south of Tagazout. Now, in my personal biased opinion, you should completely skip Agadir. Why? Well, because unfortunately, the old Medina, the old part of Agadir, was completely destroyed in an earthquake that happened in the last century. And now the new part of Agadir is, to me, it felt very sterile. It felt quite bland. It just had a lot of these big resorts, big hotels, sort of these all-inclusive packages. And hey, some people might like that, but me personally, I'm looking for the more authentic experience. Now, in my opinion, here Tagazout has a perfect blend. The original settlers here that came from the high Atlas Mountains were fishermen, and just to get their daily catch. Some historians say that the early history of this place is that when the Spanish and the Portuguese tried to come here to colonize parts of Morocco, the settlers united to fight off the invaders, forming these small coastal towns, and Tagazout was one of them. Whether that's true or not, let me know in the comments below.
You need to understand that Tagazout is extremely small. The entire village can be walked by foot within 20 or 30 minutes if you go at a very slow pace. This is also the place that has the most amount of young travelers, most of whom are here to surf. Along the beachfront you will find a number of nice cafes and restaurants. The views there are amazing, it's super picturesque. It's just like Santorini but with less tourists and better hospitality. After looking back at all my travels in Morocco, I am struggling to find the words to summarize this trip. The country is just so diverse and so multi-dimensional, from the deserts to the snow-capped Atlas Mountains to the Atlantic Ocean. And I still have the north of Morocco to explore in the future. I consider myself to be a pretty experienced traveler, having already been to 30 other countries. Hand on heart, I can tell you though that the Moroccan people who I've met are some of the friendliest and nicest people with a great sense of humor. For me, this is a place that I will be coming back to for sure. Because even though I've already been here for 5 times, I feel like I've only just scratched the surface. And for everyone who I've met on my travels in Morocco, thank you for giving me the inspiration to make this video. It's actually been quite a while since I have been so inspired by a country and a place.
Hey guys, what is up? I am walking by the Atlantic Ocean. I am in a small village called Tagazout in Morocco. The sun has just set there behind me. It's absolutely beautiful here. So peaceful. This entire beach, pretty much have it to myself. I've been in Morocco now for 5 weeks. I've been working on a passion project that I'm doing, a little documentary about Morocco, and also doing a few photography and video projects on the side. But it wasn't always like this. I wasn't always in this privileged situation. I actually started out studying law when I was a university student, and I worked in a corporate company for quite a while. And then I just figured out that, hey, I want to do something for myself. I want to have my own brand, my own business. And now I do video production for private individuals, for big companies, and for everything in between. It wasn't always like this, as I said. These things, it took me a while to figure out. It wasn't always easy. Right now I've been doing it for 5 years. Do I have millions of pounds? Do I even have hundreds of thousands of pounds? No, I don't. But for me, it's not all about money. It's about doing something that I believe in, working with people that I respect and who respect me back, and doing something that I'm proud of. And I have enough money to sustain myself, to be out here, to enjoy life, and to work on things that I actually genuinely believe in and things that make a difference. So if you are watching this video and if you can resonate with what I'm saying, and if you are also in a situation where you want to escape, where you want to do something else, where you're a creative individual and you want to do something with photography and video production, and you want to know how to work with clients, how to build your brand, and how to travel around the world doing what you love, I am currently creating a course. Now, it's taking me a while because I really want to make sure that this course is really good. I want to cover everything from basic photography and videography and the production side of things. I want to talk to you about how to get clients and how to manage clients, how to manage their expectations, how to have the business etiquette, which is something that people don't talk about when you're actually working for yourself in a creative field. So there is no obligation for you to do anything, but if you're interested, if this is resonating with you, check out the link below, because if you're interested, sign up with the link, enter your email, and as and when this course gets updated and produced, you will be notified, and then you will have the option to engage further with this material if you wish to. That's all I wanted to say to you right now. Hope you're having fun and enjoying life. Keep smiling, keep up the good energy, and I'll talk to you in the next video.